Welcome to Wonder Mom, where I share tips, thoughts, and tools to help you live a more productive life so you can focus on the things that really matter to you. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing 3 tips that will help you to stay focused, especially if you're easily distracted. Have you ever seen the movie Up? Well, if you haven't, I'll just give you a brief description of one of the characters in that movie. It's a dog who wears a collar that helps him to speak. And I really relate to this character, the dog, because he is so easily distracted. In fact, it's an ongoing humorous theme throughout the movie. He could be digging a hole somewhere, minding his own business, when squirrel, out of his peripheral vision, he just sees a squirrel like shooting past, and he's completely forgotten about his hole. He's just looking for wherever that squirrel went, and it's just an ongoing thing. Like, he could be doing something and squirrel, like, he's gone again. I really relate to that character, and maybe you can too. Especially if you're trying to do something. It can be really frustrating when you just constantly get distracted. Maybe it's your phone that keeps pinging. Maybe the kids just keep coming up to you and asking you for things which they can help themselves to, or whatever it is. We are often easily distracted as we go about our day. So what's a girl to do? In today's episode, I wanted to share with you 3 tips that will help you to stay focused. So tip number 1 is, if possible, try and move yourself into an environment where you do not have those same distractions. Like, if you know that you are constantly getting distracted in a particular area, try and remove yourself from that area. This might not be possible if you are a stay-at-home mom and you got kids, and like your kids are distracting you and you want to get stuff done and you just can't, move your kids away. But if you can, if you can get a babysitter maybe to come over, or if you can get somebody else to help out, or think of ways that you can change your environment so that the usual distractions aren't there for you anymore. I remember when I was doing a lot of writing, I had to do a lot of writing. I decided that I needed to remove myself from my house because I couldn't concentrate or do the amount of writing that I needed to do when I was at home. So my husband stayed at home while I went out really, really early in the morning to a cafe, like 5:30 in the morning, just for a couple hours in the morning, and I'd be home maybe about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So that before school and everything. So I used that time in the morning to do a lot of writing. And it was a really great period for me because the cafe was a distraction-free zone for me. I was pretty much left alone. The cafe was also quite quiet at 5:30 in the morning. So I was able to get a lot done. And it didn't hinder too much on my husband's day, so it wasn't like I was putting him out for the whole day. I just kind of got creative and thought of that workaround during that period of time. Depending on your circumstances, I don't know what it's like for you, but if you can change your environment or remove yourself from your environment so those same distractions aren't there, you're gonna be less distracted. So that's number 1. Tip number 2 is to use old-fashioned tools, just a pen and a paper. Like, if you can do whatever task or job it is that you're doing without a screen, you're going to be less distracted, just because screens have a way of pinging up notifications of like, even if you've got the notifications turned off, the temptation is real. Like, you want to pick your phone up and to see what's happening, just because your mind starts to wander. But if you use old-fashioned tools like a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, that's not the same issue there, and you can really knuckle down and focus a lot more when you're using old-fashioned tools. The 3rd tip I wanted to mention to you is to take regular breaks. Now, you might be wondering, why would I want to take regular breaks? I mean, the whole point is that I can't focus. I'm always breaking and not working. I want to focus more so that I can work. But it could be that you're constantly distracted because your mind is just plain exhausted and it just needs a rest. And if you build in rest times for your brain, for your mind, you'll find that you can focus a lot better in the times when you want to work. There have been studies done that have shown that the most productive people take breaks every 52 minutes. That's pretty regular. So maybe it might be worth setting an alarm on your phone to go off every 50 minutes or 50 minutes when you start working, so that you can take a break, you can get up, you can refresh your mind, you can just switch off from the work for a moment, do something that relaxes your brain, so that when you come back to working again, you will be able to focus and with a lot more energy than before. This is an item from our Paper Me Pretty membership. This is a daily planner. This is something that I use every day. I like to print out this daily planner to a page so that I can make most use of it. On the daily pages, you have a space for your priorities, so you can know what it is that you are the big things that you want to achieve that day. You've got a space for a schedule, so you can block off time to achieve certain things. And you've got a place to put other to-dos, because sometimes I know, like, when we start a day, like, it's not just 3 things that we have to do, it's like a lot of things. And so I like to, this area here is, you can categorize your to-do list, things that you really must do, priorities, things you'd like to do, and if you had the time, things that you'd like to do if you had the time, that goes there, and a space just for jotting notes or ideas and things like that. I found that using this tool, this old-fashioned paper and pencil type tool, has really helped me to focus and to get a lot more done, because I'm not using my phone, I'm not distracted by a screen. I can just look at this and I know exactly what I've got to do, and there's nothing else distracting me from my tasks. So this is something that's available in our Paper Me Pretty membership. I'll put the links down below if you wanted to join, you wanted to have a look at it and see. But you can just use a regular paper and pen if you wanted to make a to-do list. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to be something that doesn't constantly have notifications coming up and pinging. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was from today's episode. Put it in the comments below if you have any questions. I'll answer them. And until then, I'll see you next time for another episode of Wonder Mom Tips, Thoughts, and Tools.